Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP. Today we are live at our capital territory of Vitae, and I have some amazing updates to give you guys. If you remember our last live stream, it only lasted about 7 minutes. It was to celebrate my birthday out here in our capital territory. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for liking the video, and everybody else who joins us both in the live stream and after it. We have plenty of updates to give you guys, so I can't wait to show you. Again, as we saw in our last live stream, it was only a few minutes, but we showed off our first event, my birthday celebration here at Vitae. It was the first time we had an actual purposeful gathering, not for the purpose of building and developing and things like that, but actually just for celebration and for showing off the progress that we have. It was very short. Whenever we first started the stream, we had, if you see behind me, that white tarp up there as a covering so that we could eat cake and have a little bit of shade during our celebration. And we put that up, and it immediately blew off. As soon as we started the live stream, we had some staples in the top of those posts there that were holding the tarp on our little flimsy roof on, and it immediately blew away and ripped off. So if you want to laugh at us and make fun of us for that, definitely go and check out that last video. But we restapled it after the video was done, and we continued and we ate our cake and we took some pictures, which I have not posted on our Instagram yet, but that is the plan. And when I came out today, I was blown away to see that our staples had somehow held and our roof is still on. Again, roof is in the loosest of terms. This isn't going to be anything permanent or even very long term. And I would like to put another tarp out into the front of the dwelling, what will be the front of the dwelling. The issue currently is that we have not finished building the third wall, although we are very close, and we have not finished building up the siding pieces that will go on the fourth wall that will start off the door frame. So if we could do that and we could actually finish a little bit more on the paneling, we would be able to block in some of that wind and prevent as much from going up under the tarp. Hopefully that would prevent it from ripping more, and we could also stabilize what we have a little bit better. So that's as far as our dwelling goes. Today we're going to be cutting and fitting some pieces of wood that we got in a large collection last week to be able to finish up that third wall today and potentially even start on some of the bits for the fourth wall. That being the case, another thing I want to point out to you guys, if you haven't seen, you may have seen in the thumbnail and some of our previous ones, our garden is growing. Our tomato plants are quite large now. Our cucumber plants are growing. We have a number of other plants growing, some squash, some radish, some lettuce, onion, multiple things. We have stuff growing and popping off here. We have also continued filling up our non-potable water, our water that will be used to water our plants in coming months, and we are continuing progress. So again, thank you guys so much for liking and for being here, and we will be continuing on this dwelling today. Now, last stream, again, as of my birthday celebration, one of the big issues that I had was that I did not bring much of any equipment as far as live stream stuff. So I didn't have these nice mics to help slightly improve the audio. We didn't have a lot of stuff, and it absolutely sucked. It was a rough live stream, and so we didn't stay on too long. But today, it's the opposite problem. I have my live stream equipment. It's going to sound a little bit better. I'm sure the visuals are still rough because we are out here in the wilderness, in the woods to some extent. But we will be able to do this live stream, and I have unfortunately forgotten a lot of my building equipment. So this will be a roughing it live stream. I'm going to be using a gross broken saw to try and saw some of the wood that we have here, and the back of a hatchet as my hammer, because again, left in a little bit of a rush this morning, didn't prepare as much as I should have, and we don't have all the proper building equipment we need. That being the case, we'll have enough to get it done though. I am sorry for the horrible view, I'm sure, and the sketchiness as I move this camera, but I am going to be moving us and replacing us so that you can see we are closer to the dwelling. One of the things that's beautiful about what we have been able to develop here, and again, you've seen it a little bit on our last live stream, is that we've been able to actually set up the flag. we have been in an issue where for the longest time people have asked us, hey, why don't you get a flagpole? Why don't you invest in a flagpole? It'd be so cool to see. And while we would love to do that, the primary issue we have with getting a flagpole is that we have very little funding. So all the funding that we have, we really want to try our best to put into actually building this dwelling, actually getting ourselves a place to lock up our materials so that we can keep things out here, so that things like this situation don't happen where I forget a hammer or I forget a saw, or you know, we want to quickly set up for another big event, but we don't have the time to put everything in the car and bring multiple car loads and then go pick people up. It is so much simpler to just be building out here. First off, great to see you, Jishnu. I see you out here. Jishnu, one of our citizens, great to see you. Faze, same thing. Faze says, use the land to build new tools. Just chop a tree down to get some planks for crafting tables and sticks, then craft some tools from that. Faze, you're 100% right. We are IRL Minecraft out here. We're trying to build up. We're trying to do things. If only it were that simple. I just need to get some wood. I'll make a wood axe and pickaxe. We can start on this. We're almost down to, if we get a few more blocks deep, we may be able to hit some rock, and then we can create a stone pickaxe, stone axe, and keep going from there. Unfortunately, they don't have saws in the Minecraft game, but we do have some planks, as they would say in Minecraft. We have some cut pieces of wood, and we're actually going to be trimming those up today. Oh, and I forgot, the entire topic that I was on was just essentially that we have a way to hoist our flag now. So actually being protected from the rain, from the elements, we have our flag raised on Vitae above the ground, displayed for all to see inside our dwelling. So we're hitting it up. We're getting it. And right now, I'm going to jump back onto our sawing. So this is our third wall right here. The second half of our third wall. We have one half of it finished. But as you can see, let me lower this leg because we're on an incline here. Let me show you. Okay, so you'll notice this wall, this half of the wall, is shorter than that one back there. And so we need to raise it up, get it equal with this section of wall, which I'll turn the camera to show you all here, which is a little bit higher. We'll honestly want to raise that one a little bit in due time, but we're not going to worry about it too much right now. We have bigger fish to fry with the other section of this wall, getting all of this. As you can see right here, these planks are just loose. They're pretty strong, they're pretty long planks, so they're fairly resilient, but this is just a big open area that we have done nothing with as far as securing these down, so we're going to have to work on that, and that's our objective for today. If we can get this wall secure and add the next couple layers to it, we should have third wall completed. And if we have any extra time, we'll have to get out of here fairly early today. We should be able to hold a 2-hour live stream, but we'll see about it. At the end, we are going to go ahead and try our best to add to some of these additional sections of the fourth wall, which will get us close to doing more framing work. It will also get us closer to boxing in this place so that we have an easier time putting on, again, a makeshift temporary tarp roof just to keep us out of the rain. Faze says, oh, bro's using mods. We're trying our best. Madman says, the king has my allegiance. I will fight for him, hopefully become knight for Aeternia. Hey, thank you so much, Madman. We appreciate it. I am actually, we are the Empire of Aeternia, but I am very appreciative of you and what you bring to the table, just in your enthusiasm, in your interest in helping us out here. We're not a military society, so we don't have as much of a need for knights, but nonetheless, you can still become a noble here, potentially an aristocrat on our aristocrat board over on our website at Aeternian Empire. aeternianempire.wixsite.com. You can go check the link in the description. All that being said, if you want to become a citizen, if you want to help us out, there are plenty of ways to do so. I recommend checking the links in the description to apply for citizenship. And please reach out. We've had a few amazing people start to apply for citizenship recently, and I'm really excited about it because the more that you guys help us out, even if it's just making video content or to for us to post on our social media pages, or subscribing to our Patreon. Doing anything you can to help us grow our community and develop our culture means that we can build out here faster. So thank you guys so much. This is all thanks to you. Aeternia forever. We're growing it. Faye says, oh, bro's using mods. Alan Blair says, makes sense. Witchery says, no, do not chop down random trees till you find spots where you want to build. Trees do more for property than a pile of wood. 100%. I do agree. The issue is, so we're building right here. We have left quite a lot of canopy. We're not just randomly willy-nilly cutting down trees. The only time we are starting to prune some of the trees and trim some of them is we're going to cut off some limbs from these trees so that we can make more of an opening in the canopy for our little garden plot. As you can see, or as you may have seen earlier, our garden plot is pretty heavily shaded. We've been able to open up some of the canopy to get a little more light on them, but our babies are just not growing as much as we need them to, and we're desperate for them to work out so that we can start to collect a little bit and show you guys, hey, we're becoming more self-reliant out here. We're starting to build some stuff up that has value to people, not only in, hey, we're building this idea, we're doing something, we're about to have a place to store things and potentially to camp out here, but also that we can collect food here and we can start to purify water out here and do things that become more and more practical for life, that start to replenish all of the efforts that we've put in. So that being the case, thank you guys for being here. Again, if you can like the video, it helps us a lot. It helps to spread this out to a larger audience. Not our last live stream, but the live stream before that, we had over 22 active viewers at one point, which was, I think, the most we've ever had in the channel history. So thank you guys so much for that. We also broke 1,000 views on that live stream, and we want to do that again here today. So if you guys can like the video, that would help a ton. Amin El Aoufi says, are you homeless? I am not homeless. I do have a home, and I'm lucky to have one. There have been times in my life where that has been kind of teetering on the edge. There have been times where that's been a little uncertain for myself personally, but no, I am not homeless. I am fortunate enough to have a home, but there are plenty of people who are homeless, who are struggling, who don't have a home, who don't have anywhere to go, who don't have food on their table. And here in the United States, that's a big difficulty. We, as the Empire of Aeternia, are a micronation. We are our own individual entity, but we are located territorially landlocked inside of the United States. And there are plenty of people in the United States who are suffering. And so we want to be able to provide benefits to them, like, for example, fruit from this garden, vegetables from this garden. We want to be able to eventually offer them shelter. This dwelling, of course, will not be the end result of that. It's not safe for somebody to come and live out here and make this their home. It just wouldn't be right. It's not designed for it. It's not built with that safety factor in mind. But this is a nice attempt for us to understand what we can do with limited resources, to learn about building techniques, and to be able to apply those to future buildings out here that will be able to house people who are unhoused. So we would like to actually bring that into fruition. You asked about us being homeless. Again, I am not homeless, but we do legitimately want to provide homes for people out here. That is the dream. That is the goal. We are actively pushing forward for that. We have been around for 7 years now as the Empire of Aeternia, actually going on 8 years now as the Empire of Aeternia. And so we want to be able to bring people out here and have them build their lives as our citizens, as our residents, and that is the goal. Oliver says, how to become a citizen. All you have to do is check the link in the description. You can go to our website. On the first page of our website, if you scroll all the way down, there is a apply for citizenship link, or you can go to the top menu tab and click citizenship, and there's a way to apply there. Read the description and the information carefully when you do apply, though, because there are some caveats. There are some things we want people who become citizens to believe in and support as we do, so that we have like-minded individuals in our community as citizens who are spreading a good message for us. And then in addition, we have some requirements as far as how much effort everybody puts in. The basic rule for that is that you have to be contributing in some way regularly to the Empire. That can be as simple as $1 a month subscription on our Patreon, our lowest tier, which actually just gives us a few cents a month, 70 cents a month or something like that. And the rest goes to Patreon. or you can just support us. If you don't have any money at all and you don't want to put anything in, that's completely fine. You just need to do something for us, whether that's creating social media content for us, you know, or cool images, or, you know, helping us with our Discord server. Whatever that is, whatever you can do to contribute to help out, it means a ton, and that's what we are pushing for. So anybody can become a citizen of the Empire. It just takes a little bit of work, a little bit of care to help make our community bigger and better. But that all being the case, thank you guys for liking the video. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to pan down real hard so that you can see my crappy saw. You guys love it. You guys love it. Broken handle saw. It's your favorite. I know it is. What we're going to do is we're going to take this broken handle saw, and we're going to go to this junky piece of wood, and we're going to cut it into about 3 pieces, and those 3 pieces will actually help us to connect right here. So if you see down here, we're going to go probably 1, 2, 3 like that, and stop right about here. That'll give us quite a bit of support for our wall. It's going to help us to stabilize, help us to keep growing and growing. So let's get into cutting. I hope you guys are doing well, and I am excited to hear about how you're doing, both personally and with your nations, if you're micronationalists, or with your communities, if you are people who are trying to develop anything similar to us as far as community action, as far as helping the homeless or the people in need in your area. And if you have any questions for us about who we are and what we do, our community is great about answering questions if you hop in the Discord. But if you have something for me right now, definitely throw it in the chat, and I will try to get to it when I can. Now the question is, how quickly and efficiently can I saw through this board? Not super quickly, but it got the job done. We got 1 piece. That should be good. We'll line it up. I'll show you guys real fast. Angle the camera up just a tad bit. Hey, 18 viewers, 4 likes. Thank you guys for being here and liking the video. Let me throw that in. Yep. And so that'll line up well. We're going to put it actually behind, like right here. We'll nail that in. So that'll be 1. That'll help. Let's get 2 more. Or yeah, probably 2 more. Do 1 like that and 1 like that. We're going to make 1 a little bit longer because we have a larger gap on that 3rd one, but we will see. Now, one of the things that it has taken me a long time to learn in doing this is that you let the saw do the work. And anytime I start to cut something like this, my instinct is just push down really hard so you can get through it as quick as possible. But honestly, that's the worst way to do it. 1, because a lot of the time you can't push the saw teeth all the way through. And so you end up unevenly wearing down your saw teeth. And then, you know, some parts of it are dull and it catches and it makes the situation worse and worse and worse, and harder to cut. For the most efficiency, keep your saw loose in your hand slightly so that you're not pressing down too hard. And try your best to run all of the saw teeth through your cut. Of course, there are people who are experts on this, and I am certainly not one of those people. I am definitely still learning, but I'm starting to get some semblance of a technique down. I say as I jiggle and shake this piece around. But nonetheless, steady as she goes. We're going to keep pulling her through and trying to cut through this board. Once we get through, this will be actually our last cut for this piece, because we'll be able to finish nailing those up. Then we may do 1 more board like this to finish that up, put a couple more pieces up for the rest of the wall, and we will be moving through. Probably jumping onto our 4th wall. But yeah, it's nice to be able to come out here early in the morning. We've been out here mid-afternoon. We've been out here even as of prepping for the celebration out here for my birthday. We were out here into the night. And Tiffany, being an absolute trooper, being someone who has, you know, made all of this happen to a large extent, was out here with me, helping me at night to finish putting up this part of the wall right here so we could have some enclosure for celebrating. And I think, did a pretty good job. So I want to make her proud, finish out this work, and be able to show her next time she comes out that, like, hey, we're doing more, we're building bigger and better. And also to be able to kind of show that we can do things morning, noon, and night out here now. It's not perfect yet. We still have a lot more improvements to go. But as we finish building this shelter, we're going to be able to start putting lights out here. Going to be able to start, you know, having little things that will be more conveniences out here. A lot of the things we've been building are, you know, necessities right now, things that we absolutely couldn't be out here for more than a couple hours without. You know, making sure that we have some sort of little food supply starting to grow, some water to water the garden, you know, some kind of way to get the elements. And you can't stay too long out in the wilderness without that, unless you're camping and you bring your own camping supplies. But instead of packing up and moving and doing that over and over again, this is a way for us to stay out here a little longer. But enough of my talking, back to sawing. We're almost halfway through, and I think we're getting faster and faster as we go along. If I can keep my sawing straight, we should be through in no time. Part of what I'm messing up is I'm pulling at an angle, and it makes the saw do almost like a cartoon sound, like a, you know, it's wiggling. It's wiggling too much. But that being the case, I'm getting through this slowly but surely. Got to switch hands. My hand's cramping up. Also, guys, for doing stuff like this, always make sure you have the proper protective equipment. I have some gloves, some nice gloves that I should be using for this. I'm going to put them on when we start actually nailing stuff in, but you should be doing it kind of at all times. I just, with my bare hands on this cutting, so I'm not doing it for this. Anytime you're doing construction stuff, you should try to have the proper safety equipment, so that you know you're taken care of and supported in the case of some crazy freak accident. You never know what'll happen, and so you always want to be as prepared as you can be. So do as I say, not as I do, would be the main theme of today. As well, I am doing the thing I said not to do, which is make sure you push all the way through the piece of wood and not just going right back and forth on one little slip. And I was not doing that for a minute. I was ignoring my own advice, and I probably shouldn't. Let's see. Hey, there we go. Okay. We got our other two pieces of wood. Now we can move a little faster and start connecting to our wall. So we got some nails right here. We got our pieces of wood. We got one already in the wall. And so all I have to do is grab my little hatchet, wherever she may be, right here, and we're going to start applying these. So I'm actually going to go, I'll pull the camera up a little bit closer, and I'm going to go around to the other side of the wall to actually hit this in. So give me 1 second there, guys. I'm going to adjust the camera up, show you guys our proud, beautiful flag for a second. and I'm going to go ahead and start hammering in. Again, thank you guys. 14 viewers. The more that you guys like the video, the more people jump in. So I appreciate it. It helps a lot. 6 likes. You guys are helping us to blow it up while I mess up part of this wall. Let's see what we got here. And I think I found our other piece that we're going to use for cutting up. I did that, and then I actually need to be on that side of the wall. So what I'm going to be doing is hopping back over there. I guess I'll bring my nails. You guys are going to view, but that is okay. I'm going to be right here working on the wall. Just working on our wall. Okay. Get that guy kind of secured like that. Hammer it in. Here we go. Hey, that worked. Perfect. We're all done. Nope, I slipped off. So let's see if we can't get that guy lined back up a little bit. And one thing about this is, you know, our neighbors absolutely hate me, unfortunately. If you are one of our neighbors watching this, I am so sorry. I am absolutely banging the shit out of this hammer early in the morning. I hope you guys can forgive our construction noises. See if we can get that guy. Yep, all the way through there. There we go. Okay. There we go. We're getting it. Nice. Okay. So we got through one piece. Probably going to try and go for a second one right here, although this is going to be weird. We'll have to see how it works. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we've got that decently secured. We're going to go to our next piece right here. Going to slide that in like this. Do the same thing. I guess that should be it. Like the video, guys, if you want us to continue to annoy our neighbors with incredibly aggressive hammering. If you're our neighbors, like the video for us to stop. We won't know which like is which, so good luck to our neighbors. I tell you what, if our neighbors subscribe to our Patreon and blow up our Patreon and say, shut up, please, then I'll hit them up. I will comply. We will figure out hours for me to do this hammering. But I guess if they're not patrons, they'll never know. So let's see. They'll never know what they could have gotten. The deal they could have gotten on this hammering. But we're almost done here with the second one. Second support here. Again, I said I was going to wear my gloves, and you know what I'm not doing right now? Wearing my gloves. And Tiffany, knowing her as I do, would fuss at me. So let me go grab my beautiful and handy dandy gloves. Here we go. Hey, 15 viewers, 8 likes. Thank you guys. One of them may be our neighbors, and we would never know. So let's see. Let's see. There we go. Got one glove. Second glove. And we're at it. And it looks like we're through the second one. Nice. Okay, now we slip into the third. And then once we have the third, we might be chilling for a little bit because, let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're going to run out of space, actually. So this will be a predicament here. We might not be able to move on to that one. Dang, I would like to. Maybe we can go a different way with this. Let me go check around back, see what we can do. Okay, so we have our board. So I guess we could try to fit it in like this, but then we're really blocking our other boards here. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep them kind of together. So I think I'm just going to push that guy out. Try and get these guys to fit together a little better. And that may be what we do for today. Oh, might be able to get that to go just straight in almost. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the seat, yeah. That guy is just almost connected. What I think we're going to do for today is we're going to connect these pieces of the wall. And then this just goes almost directly onto this board. So I'm probably going to try and get that thing to nail in right there. That'll be about what we do on the wall today. On this third wall, at least. Okay. Getting all that lined up. Cool. Okay. So let's get our hammer and nails. Let's do it. Now again, this isn't uncommon for our walls. There are a lot of places that have little cracks and holes and things like this along it. But as we go through with time, that should get better and better and better. And so we will have another live stream in the future, maybe a few, where the whole purpose is just going in and fixing all of these little mistakes, all of these little places where there are holes, where bugs and other creatures, little mice and things like that can get in and cause us problems. For right now, again, that's kind of the least of our worries. We just need something that will get us out of the rain and, you know, keep larger animals, people out of our stuff. But this is a good first start. So we're gonna, again, try and get these lined up as much as possible. I actually will probably use not our nice nails for this, for just connecting those pieces of the wall. I am going to use some scrap nails that we have, just because the bindings don't necessarily have to be pretty for that piece. So pull out some of these scrap nails we have and try. Okay, got one here. Let's see how this goes. I guess I'll start up here at the top, work our way down maybe. Already regretting it, but it's fine. Let's see. Get a little steeper an angle. There we go. Not too steep an angle. Yeah. not what I'm trying to do. Dang it. Okay. This is why in Minecraft you never use your hatchet when you need a hammer, a pickaxe, or something else. You're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. I'm not breaking mine. It has a nice middle back, but it's not as good. It takes longer. It's less efficient. They're trying to teach you in these video games, I guess. So let's grab a second nail. Keep going. Again, we've got this one wall kind of connected, or these top two pieces kind of connected. So what we're going to do is we're going to push in just a little bit. We're going to see if we can't connect some more of these. We'll go about here on this wall. Right there. I'm going to kind of push that inward like that. Let's see how that goes. Decent. It's not great, but connected, technically connected. And on to the fourth. We'll get this guy right here and try to connect these two pieces like this. Similar process, except for dropping the nails. There we go. Another one, making it even more sturdy. I'm going to try there for the fourth, I suppose. Have that guy go. See, let's grab another one. That one's a little too bent. Let's try this guy. So this will be for this piece, and after that, because the rest of these are connected to these supports here, we shouldn't have to really worry about trying to make too many more connections, but this will help us get a little further along. And there we go. Nice. Okay, so we're all connected up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this piece up against the other framing that we have right there and see if we can't nail that in to the side. So we're going to go, not that nail. What about this nail? Yep, that one's pretty thick. That one's pretty good. We will try this guy. So I'm going to push back just a little bit right there. We're going to go in from the side, see if we can't connect to this post. I could be wrong, but I believe we are now in the post, which is great. Unfortunately, we did undo this piece right there, so we're probably going to push that back a little, see if we can't nail it back in, and go from there. Yep. Guess I'll just add one extra piece of support there. Let's see where we can go in at. We'll try right here. There's a lot of tension on that though. We'll see if we can make it work. Go kind of similar spot to the last one, but we'll go a little more shallow as we do to make sure we really get in to this other piece like we want to. Oh, dang it. We broke straight through. It's not going to work. So we're going to wiggle this out if we possibly can. There we go. We might go up, actually. We might try going up. No, I think we're going back down. Okay. Gonna go from this side, I guess. Start hitting. Trying our best to go in a downward angle. Doesn't really look like it held too much, but that's okay. Just not getting the right angle on it. Adding a lot of nails to this thing when it really shouldn't need that many. We're going to go up right here though. That should finish that stabilization. Going up. Better. Okay. Got this wall hanging on. Doing good. Hey, 7 viewers, 10 likes. Thank you guys. This is way better than those random dudes in the forest building 5-star hotels. Thank you. I appreciate it. We aren't quite at a 5-star hotel, but we are at a 0.01 star hotel right now. So, you know, we're getting up there. All we need next is a Michelin reviewer to come out. You know, we'll cook them a meal of random assorted leaves and things we find out here. It'll be wonderful. We will get that rating in no time. Until then, let me show you the wall that we just worked on a little bit. Right there, still needing to go quite a bit on it, but we have started out. What I'm going to go ahead and do is continue adding to it. So again, just from the back pieces here, you can kind of see, this is where we added those additional pieces we just cut. We stopped right about here because I couldn't get another piece of wood to fit there, but slowly but surely we will be adding to the back right here, continuing to support this. But since we have it pretty well connected right now, bah, 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 we should be good. Leaning up against it, it's working, holding. So we're going to go ahead and add another 1 or 2 pieces there, and then we will probably go ahead and get started on our on these other pieces. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I'm saying these other pieces. Just got to put on my glove. Yeah, like that. Okay. So move you guys back to right about here. Okay, so in between, dang, that didn't work. Let me move you guys somewhere else. Do 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 do. There we go. Okay. You guys go for what it's worth, the amount you can see. Between here, this post, and here, this post, we want to put another little section of wall. Normally, what we've been doing with each half of a wall is doing 1 post and then another post, effectively each wall having 3 posts. 1 post on either side of the wall and 1 post in the middle that divides the wall into 2 pieces. This 4th wall is actually divided into 3 pieces. So we have this section, then we have the section that's going to hold our door frame, and then we have another little small section like this. So if we can get wood and put them on these smaller outer sections where the door frame won't be, we'll have additional wind protection, which means that when we go ahead and put on our second tarp to help support this one, we should be in a position that it is less likely to get blown away by the wind. Still could happen, still could easily enough, but with enough support and enough can-do attitude, maybe it'll stick. So that's what we're going to work on next, is trying to do that. We may try and do some framing today, but probably not because we are limited on time. So for the moment, we're going to be going back to here. Let me lower this a little bit for you guys so we get kind of a better angle. There we go. Hey. And I am going to add on a 4th piece to this, 4th piece, a 10th piece or whatever it is to this wall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check this guy out, see how long it is. Long enough. Yep, you can tell. Not quite there. So we're going to get a longer piece. How's that piece in comparison? This may be the longest piece. This may be the longest piece we have. Well, I speak too soon, I guess. This is probably the longest piece we have. Let's see if it compares with the rest. No, but not terrible either. We'll probably get this. And then that other piece we just pulled as the last one. Get all that lined up, and we should be good to go. This will be the final pieces of the wall here. We'll do this one, then we may do one more, and then that should round out this third wall, and we'll be on to the fourth one. So sorry I'm not on camera at the moment, guys. I need to pull these screws out one way or the other. So I'm going to aim this camera down, and we will get started on that. See if I can just knock them out. I may have to get my pry bar, but if I can, I'll just bang these things out. Let's see. Got one out by hand because I'm just that strong. Let's see. Trying to bang this other one out. Okay, I broke it, but I got the other one out. So now that's good enough for us to put it in. It's flush, relatively flush. So I'm going to stack that guy up like this. Hammer in a couple nails, and we will be moving forward. Couple nails, check. Camera adjustment, not check. Almost check, check. And time to hammer in. So I'll go like right here. So I can show you guys. There we go. Got that one in. Time to put the second one in. I'll put it in a spot where it hasn't been screwed or hammered or whatever already. Would be a lot easier with a hammer, I'll tell you that much. But after 400 misses, we eventually make some contact. Now we're in. This board is way off, but it's fine. There we go. All right, now for the final piece, here we go with another kind of thick board. This one's probably not up to the task. This one looks like it is though. Let's see how long this guy is. Bring that over like that. Similar length, perfect. So we're gonna get the screws out of this guy, same thing, then move forward. So we're aiming down. Knocking those screws through. So we'll see if we can pull them out, hopefully. Starting to get there. I mean, I don't know if we need to hit it through more. It looks like it. Let's try. There we go. That might have done it. It feels like it did. Slowly but surely unscrewing this thing. There we go. Actually getting to be able to unscrew it. And ta-da! Got another one. So we're putting all these off to the side for our own protection. Trying to get the rest of these out. As best we can. Although, without something to really do a good job of it, this is not the easiest task. See if we can't knock it out. Looks like this one may stay for a moment. When we have the ability, it'll be fine. When we have the ability, we will get a pry bar and actually pull that out while it's on the wall, which isn't the best thing to do, but again, it'll be all right for now. So I'm setting this guy up. I'll film so I can show you up, and it instantly fell down because it was not nailed in. Let's see. There we go. So throw this guy back up. Yep. Just like this. Ta-da! And try and hit in there. Whoop! I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Okay, slide over a little bit. Here we go. This is the next one going in. This should be about the same height as our other wall, our other half of this wall, so that's good. We are getting to the point where this is pretty stable. If we throw a tarp up, as we will at some point in the next few trips out here, we will be in good position. Because I'll show you guys in just a second once I finish this. Almost there. There we go. Oh gosh, this guy's now super far back. Okay, that should hold everything in place a little better. So these guys are almost the same height, you can tell. But this guy already, you can see, is starting to get covered a little bit by the tarp, which is great because that means if it rained, at least for that back piece, we know we'd be covered. The issue is if it did rain, water would pool up on that tarp, probably pour down this direction, and more than likely just from the weight of it, rip that tarp down. So not great, but as of right now, again, that's not really a stable roof. That's not the roof we are attempting, but it was nice enough to hold for our party, our celebration, and it's amazing that it's still holding for some reason. So by some luck, we have the ability to continue while having semblance of a roof. So you guys can at least get an idea. So what we're going to do now, what our big plan is for the rest of the day, is we are going to try to start on, do we want to start on the extra wall pieces or do we want to start on the framing? These are the questions. Let me show you guys what we're up to with a little bit of framing. Aim down here. So we have these long pieces. Like this is thicker, you know, more like a 2x4. And we are actually nailing these together to be able to make supports. So these will go in as part of the framing. Excuse me. If they can get cut to the proper size, they will go in as part of that framing. And that should be a way for us to get started with it. So what I might do actually is get started on the framing itself. So let me see where we might need another nail or two. Right here. Yep. That'll be where. And then if I can show you guys, show you on this part that's a finished wall. Let me see. Angle up. Too far. We're too close, I should say. Way too close to the wall for me to really show you guys much of anything about it. Okay, here we go. Hopefully that's a decent enough angle. Let me see if I can get it to go like that. A little bit more. Angle up. Okay, cool deal. So let me show you guys what we're working with here. We get this piece, gonna bring it in, gonna try and have it about this tall. But the issue is we can't have it just straight up nailed into this piece like that because that's not actually adding additional framing. We're gonna have to do it to size so that it can slide in between these pieces and actually get the length we need. So we got to figure out how much we have to cut off. And it looks like we could honestly just cut a little bit past this second board right here and just knock that thing in. If we can get it to be more level, that might work well. So looks like that's actually going to be the attempt. It's just to cut off right at about this piece and knock it in. And you may ask, why are we starting on this framing now? We've already had these outer paneling pieces up. The paneling pieces are partly for decoration, partly to start just blocking the area off, making it more of a construction site, making it to where we can get out of the weather a little bit. But this framing will be beneficial because once we get framing nice and secured, we can start to work on a more stable roof. Framing first. We need something that's going to stabilize the structure and actually give the foundation a little bit more support. So this is what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and saw this piece. We'll get it put into place, and then that may be our only framing that we do today. So we'll get one little piece of framing up for one little piece of wall, and then we will keep going. But we'll have a good idea of what to do next. So let me see if I can get that there. I'm gonna get the handy dandy saw out, which is somewhere I have placed it. Here it is. Handy dandy saw. Throwing down on the saw. Trying to go with long, straight cuts. That's going to give us the best results. Trying to go as flush as I can with this. The good news is this piece isn't nearly as thick as the previous piece we were cutting, so we should get through it in a fraction of the time, especially as I'm working quick here. Let's see if we can just bust through this thing. We're about halfway through already, so I'm just going to pick up the pace a little bit and get the rest of the way through. Let's see. Yeah, we are almost done here. Love the smell of that sawdust in the morning. Let's see. We know some work's getting done out in Vitae when you smell that sawdust. Okay. And we got it. Nice. Okay, so we've cut out this little piece. This is pretty dang flush. Now we're going to see if our cutting and our measuring was correct. Angling back up. Going to go see if our board fits. And whether you guys can make fun of us or not in the comments. You can make fun of us anyway, but at least with this you'll have more reason. Okay. Stick that there. Stick this right there. And as we start to level it out, look at that. It's holding. Yo. Yo. Look at that. Framing. 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 Amazing. So what we can do, can knock that guy a little bit. I'll actually use the back of my hatchet, work a little bit easier. Okay, go down like that. Check it. Relatively level. Maybe go down another little bit. Pretty dang good. I'm going to hit this guy just a little bit. Okay. And I think that's where we're going. So we do have one piece of framing in, set up, and there we go. Again, additional support for this structure. I'm going to go ahead and nail these pieces in, and we will be rocking and rolling. Again, one of the nice things about putting up this frame, this is going to be effectively where the floor for the building where we're going to be walking around. That'll actually be lower, but what would relatively be the floor for the framing. So what's convenient about this is that in the case that this wood paneling rots because some of it is touching the dirt, we will have concrete poured up to this piece of the framing, this bottom of the framing, the floor of the framing, which will allow us that extra support. And if we had to take all of the paneling off, all of this wood siding off, we'll have a nice sturdy frame to our building. It's weather resistant, and then we can put nicer weather resistant frame paneling on. But for the time being, working with what we got. So we'll go ahead and start nailing this guy in. Got that piece doing good. Gonna try and do one from the bottom if I can. If I can get down into this dirt enough. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty dang. Pretty dang stable. Okay, now we're gonna hit this piece in, do the same thing. What I'll do is I'm gonna put one piece directly through because we do have a loose piece on our little joist here, whatever you call it, our little framing piece. So I'm actually just going to try and drive a nail straight through. I say straight, at an angle through. Make sure that holds real well. Make sure that goes in well. And then going in from the sides. Got that one. And again, nice solid piece of framing. Probably going to go in from the bottom. Now we should be able to do that a little bit easier this time and get up to the top. So let's see how that goes. Got it pretty good. And then, yep, our first piece of framing, solid. Okay, so that's how it looks. Hey, I appreciate it. We got one viewer in. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Whoever that one viewer is, Barbosa, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. I know it's hard to tell, but we are actually doing something pretty important today, and that is this framing right here, teaching you guys how to build this shelter. Again, this isn't something that somebody should really be living in, but it is nice for a little quick shed, place for us to store materials, place for us to come camp out at if we absolutely have to. And this is a nice extra support piece of framing. So we have this piece in. This is going to be the bottom of that framing. We're then going to get some pieces that go up in between about every 2 feet, maybe a little less. Secure those in, and then we will keep moving. But for the time being, I think I'm going to call it on putting in any more framing, because I want our chief engineer, Tiffany, to come out and check my work before we continue, because that's, again, a critical part. Hey, Aaron says we're all here for you, Emperor AP. Thank you so much, Aaron. That means a lot. Again, appreciate you being here. If you're the viewer, if the Which Way family is our viewer today, thank you so much, and I hope you are enjoying what we're doing here. What I'm going to be going ahead and doing is, I suppose, starting on these little wall pieces right here. I'll point that out for you. Again, from about that post to that post, pretty short wall pieces, but again, that will start us out with prepping for our framing for our door frame. So what I'm going to do is set up right here, show you guys. Hey, 2 viewers, thank you guys for being here. And so I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing our paneling for this piece, which will help out. Aaron said the kids even react to hearing your voice. My son likes watching you put boards into place. Thank you. Well, Aaron, we will be putting more boards into place, so you can absolutely tell your son that he will have plenty to watch if he is currently watching, and if not, later on they will have a good bit to view. And again, we finally have the flag up, so now you can see all of our Aeternian heritage and culture and pride out here along with us, helping us to build this dwelling. But again, thank you, Aaron. That heartfelt message means a ton. I should have my my necklace out, but I would be devastated if I lost the nice gift that you gave us out here in Vitae in the mess in the wilderness. But it goes on during special events. Don't you worry. Let me go ahead and grab a few more pieces of paneling, and we will see where we're at. So excuse me, guys, I'm going to step off camera for just a moment so we can start collecting some of those, and I can show you guys our progress. Let's grab a good long piece to start off with. Let's see, something like this maybe. Are we long enough? Are we not? We're going to find out. Hey, just long enough. Perfect. Okay, so we'll have this to get started with. As you can see, just barely starting off. We're going to keep going higher and higher and higher on that. Now the issue is, this is actually maybe a little too long, because we want to make sure that each of these boards fits nicely, of course, but we want each of these boards to have additional space. So when we go to this board right here, which barely on screen for you guys, let's see, this board right here, this post, excuse me, we're going to want to have half of that saved so that we can connect for the door frame. So we will have to see how that's going to go about. For the time being, I will cut and hammer. First, we're going to hammer. I guess I'm hatcheting today, but close enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't knock out this piece right here that's connected to this old fence post that we're going to be put in as our bottom board. Almost. There we go. Got that one off in a jiffy. Let's see if we can't get this thing secured. We've got a piece, so let me see if I can't knock that out as well. May help. Maybe not enough though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That's all right. We will put it in the other way, and again, when we get our handy dandy crowbar out here, we will be making more progress. But we can still get this thing set up. I should probably chop off about half of that board's width. So let me go ahead and mark this, cut, and I will adjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here in just a moment. Probably go somewhere right about there. And I will grab our saw and adjust the camera. Hope you guys are doing well today. Again, I know, hey, WPA says, let's see, 56 Tank says, let's go. Hey, I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Also, you guys are helping with the likes to blow up the channel and the video. So thank you. Thank you so much for 2,800 subscribers, by the way. We are quickly moving up to 3K, which is incredible. That is a feat for any micronation. And we are trying to slowly get up to 5K, 7K, 10K, and on to the stars. So you guys are helping make that happen. And the further we get up there, the more watch time hours we get, eventually we can reach monetization we have not gotten yet, and on to bigger and better things. So you guys watching is making all the difference in that. Definitely. But right here, we see this piece of wood. I'm going to go ahead and saw and cut on that. And then we will be hammering into place the first section for the fourth wall. So I'm going to adjust this slightly so I can start cutting on it. And away we go. Especially because this is going to be the front of the building, we want it to look kind of nice. It's honestly worth it to cut these boards. The ones in the back that are kind of janky and you're not really going to see them a ton, those will be all right. They'll manage. These guys that are going to be nice and in the front, again, this paneling isn't going to last forever, so we're not too worried about it. But if we can make it nice for the first time showing it off, why not? Why not try to do something decent for everybody? But we are almost through. Slowly but surely. One or two more cuts. Let's see. Go. Got it off. And we are putting in our next piece of paneling to start us off on the fourth wall. Now what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to go about halfway, since we're running out of time today. We're going to go about halfway on this wall, this piece of the wall. Try and do the same thing on the other one. That way we have, again, just less wind that's able to come in here and disturb our roof there. See how long we can possibly keep that tarp up, just as a test of strength for building, and whatever happens, happens. So, grabbing our nails, grabbing our hatchet, and putting this guy in. By the way, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon. I know I ride the Patreon so hard, and I thank you guys for it so very often, but I want to thank you again and shout it out once again. So, one, that's a way that plenty of people get their citizenship and their support for their micronations through the Empire. So obviously it's a great way for our community to connect, but more than that, it helps us to get things like this. These are some actual proper framing nails that we got. They are wonderful. They were a little bit expensive, but definitely worth it because they go in perfect every time. They don't get bent, they don't get warped, unless we're just really messing it up. And so it makes things move that much quicker out here, and know that our building is that much more safe for people. So as we go, again, still have a lot to improve. This isn't designed for anybody to live in or anything too permanent, but as of right now, it'll be a wonderful shed, and it will help us to add so much value out here. Just like that, first piece in. Let's go ahead on a second one. Well, I'll actually just do that on the other side. Get that one up here. Top corner going in. After 13 misses, we get it, and that ain't going anywhere. Perfect. So now all we need is like 5 or 6 more of these. We're up pretty decently, and we are closing off this building. It's incredible. We have come such a long way in such a short period of time. Let me see what we can do next. Here's another good piece. We may do half ones, but I would really hate to do that. Might work. Let's see. Or if I can measure these out properly, we might be able to cut these into halves. Do them like that. How long is this guy? Nope. These guys are perfect just like they are. There we go. We should be able to do that. Okay, so that would be one panel. Let's do this one and then see how high we get. Because we have a number of panels like this that already have the screws taken out of them, the nails taken out of them. And so if these just fit, that's right up our alley for today. Save us a little bit of time, get you guys some more progress to view. Okay, got that one on. Again, top corner on this side. Let's go right about there. We have slightly split the wood on this one, so you want to be careful not to do that in your own work, but it hadn't split too bad, just a little bit right around where I knocked the nail in. So again, another steady piece, building it up. Let me grab the rest of them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 more pieces. So let's see how that's going to go. All right. And here they are, our 4 pieces. Take these out, start measuring. This one's a little too long, so we're probably going to hack it off, but I'll throw it off to the side right now so we can check the rest of them. This guy looks like a similar story. Gonna have to hack it off. This guy looking perfect, so we're gonna go ahead and throw him up. And then this guy also looks like we're gonna have to hack just a little bit off, but doing good, doing very good. Once we get all these out here, we should be up quite a significant amount. So gonna go ahead and put up the third one, keep going on them, see how far we get. Here we go. We're going to go top corner this time and then bottom corner on the next one to kind of alternate, make sure the structure is a little more stable. There we go. Got one in. Let's go to the other side. Bottom corner on this one. There we go. That guy's pretty dang secure. So now we just got to cut the rest of these. But look, already almost up to my knees. And again, that's on flat ground. This is going to be something that, like this big pit that you see in the back here, I can walk down it maybe to show you the difference in height, will be submerged. So that'll in fact be even taller once we get some more of this put up. But for the time being, we're going to keep going. So I'm going to cut our next piece, keep adding to it. Let me go ahead and check the comments. 5 viewers, 11 likes. Thank you guys. WPA asked, do we find scraps in the forest? Because we look for scraps and find a lot. We haven't found scraps in the forest. So this forest that we have out here that we purchased has been undeveloped for quite a long period of time, going on about 30 years. This was purchased back in the 90s from the previous owner, and hadn't been developed at all from that previous owner. So I would even go as far as to imagine that it has been even longer period of time that it hasn't been developed. But this is a nice natural Alabama native forest, and so as now a part of the Empire of Aeternia, as a part of another country now, we want to keep it natural. We don't want to do like lots of other places in Alabama or in the United States where these people are just clear-cutting forests, just destroying the natural habitat for pollinators, for all these different sorts of entities. Of course, we are going to have to cut down some in order to grow and develop, but we do want to be as strategic as possible with that so we limit the amount that we are damaging the natural environment here, because it'll pay off for our future generations, our lineage as we move forward. As more people come and move out here, their kids and their kids after them will want to have a food forest, will want to have things that they can go out and invest in as far as the land goes. And so we want to start with that by making sure that we keep things as natural as possible and try to encourage pollinators and wildlife to live out here and enjoy their refuge that they've had, again, for at very least the last 30 years. I'm sure a lot of the creatures in this area kind of come here when we're not here to be able to get an escape from traffic and other cars and other, other houses and other construction that people are working on. So we will be trying to keep it as natural as possible, slowly integrating as much of our food development as possible with the natural environment and seeing how it goes. So the more that you guys can educate us on that as well, the better, because we're always learning and trying to grow. So if you have things, ideas that you think would grow well out here or that you think we could implement, please keep us in mind. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and cut and keep going. This is a big fence post that fortunately does not have any screws in it or nails. So we are going to similarly get this guy lined up, hack off maybe to about right here and keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and mark on this guy, something like that. I'll saw through it real quick while I hang out with you guys, and then we will keep discussing. Let me scoot it back so I can actually get my saw all the way through the piece of material. Get a good start. There we go. All the way through. But again, I hope you guys are doing well today. It is a random Wednesday that I am out here, but it means a lot to be progressing with you guys. I'd like to come out this weekend, if at all possible. We will see how things keep going. I certainly know we are able to get a lot more viewership, a lot more activity on the weekends, but I'm here for the long haul. So the more I can work and develop this summer, the better we will be prepared to develop in the fall. In the fall, I have classes. Tiffany has classes. We are working hard to get graduate degrees. Tiffany going for her PhD, which I am incredibly proud of. Myself attempting a master's. And so as we do all that, we have a lot less time during the fall. Therefore, if we can make major progress like this, then on a weekend during the fall, when we don't have as much schoolwork, we can come out and stay for an entire 24, 48 hours, something like that, which allows us an incredible amount of time to work and develop like this when we can only come out right now for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. So once we get this up and going, you will see advancement move a lot quicker. Hopefully more events out at Vitae, and so on and so forth. And events especially because we will have more amenities that can cater to people, bathrooms, things like that. But we will also have, and this is pretty important, no nails and screws and stuff out here on the ground that we can't do much with, because right now it's the middle of a construction zone. It's an active construction zone. And so we don't want to have a whole bunch of a whole bunch of our honored guests, a whole bunch of our friends and our colleagues and stuff coming out, a whole bunch of tourists coming out and stepping on nails, getting hurt, making us liable to lawsuit. So we want to be as careful as we can and make sure that everybody's as protected as they can be. 4 up, getting bigger, getting better. I'm going to stop some more wind from coming in here. And let's keep going. Okay, this is going to be board number 5 going up here. So we'll have 5. And if that can stay steady, just for us to show what we're going to be working with, this will be number 6 right here. That'll go up real nice like that. And we'll get about this height, which is pretty dang good, especially the same thing on the other side. This will stop quite a bit of that wind coming in. Again, it won't stop at all, but it discourages it. You know, it has to build up a lot more pressure to come into this area and try and rip down that tarp than it would otherwise going around. And so the higher that we get these walls, the more stable this building and the more stable our flimsy little tarp roof there. But again, one rainstorm, one like real solid rain, and that thing is coming down just because of the weight. But just as a, you know, as a litmus test for how strong our building is and how protective it is against the wind, it is nice to see that that little roof there, that little tarp is holding up, even just the meager amount that it is. So again, we're going to line this guy up here. We're going to mark it right about, let's see, here. Let's say something maybe like that. Mark right there. And we're cutting. Cutting. Ooh. And we're marked. There it is. And let's start up. Okay, and so pushing through. Oh gosh. This one is not going down easy. It has a bend in it, which means that it is constantly applying pressure to my and making it that much harder to cut through the. I am basically just having to kind of force this thing open, brute force my way through this, but it's trying. Almost through. There we go. And we got it. Nice little extra piece there. And beautiful. Okay, so gonna get that, nail it in real fast, and we will be almost done. Let's get it. Again, probably gonna go top this time on this side and bottom on the other side, trying to alternate our nailing pattern. So we get the most structural support possible. Again, pushing that guy down right there. Going down to the bottom here. Yeah. Don't hit your thumbs when you're hammering, pretty important. And also use a hammer instead of a weird hatchet like I'm doing. Beautiful. Another piece in, supported, doing pretty swell. Okay, and that's 5 pieces right there. Hey, 5 viewers, 12 likes. Thank you guys. Aaron said, here comes the Imperial. You know it. Aaron said, hey, Serbeska. Serbeska, great to see you. Thank you for liking the video. He said, AP made a lot of progress. We sure did. We're making a lot more. So, again, one more board, and then we will be trying to go to the other side. make more and more of our little entranceway here. Cool deal. So gonna hit one more in, mark it, saw it, and keep going. Let me flip this guy around this way, hammer out this screw right here that I have noticed. See if I can't wiggle that guy out. Oh, it's a nail. That may be better. We will just have to see if I can get it out. Kind of. Hey, I got it. Okay. Got that piece out. Let me measure. Oh, got another nail. Okie doke. See if we can hammer this guy out. Okay. And knocking this thing out. We're getting it. There we go. Got that nail out. Yeah, perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing, mark, cut, and move forward. Flip over that way so it's a little more aligned. This one's got so much. This has got so much hanging off the end. I'm going to just mark right here. That's good. And start our cutting. Yep, and I'm doing what I said not to do. Running straight into the wall, not finishing my cut, having my saw go all the way through the board. So we're going to try that again. Getting it, moving through pretty quick. About halfway through, 3/4, and done. Beautiful. Okay. And final 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th piece in place. About to nail it. And we will be done with this section for today. We'll go on to finish the other section of the fourth wall, or start the other section of the fourth wall, I should say. And that's about halfway done with this first part of the fourth wall. And then we will be going on to the other one, finishing about half of it, hopefully, if we have the time, and seeing what we can get done. All right, gonna go bottom this time with our nail. Getting that in supported nice. Then gonna switch around, go to the top corner on this side of this board, going all the way up and finishing the last nail for the 6th board, marking the halfway point in our 4th wall on our dwelling. Incredible. Okay, we did it, guys. Doing great. Cerveska, excuse me, making a lot of good comments saying, I think you should paint the walls to prevent rotting. I think slow it. I think you're 100% right. Eventually, all of this paneling that we're putting on the outside will have to be pulled down because, like you said, it will rot, especially where it's touching the ground right here is going to be the worst of it. And it won't last more than maybe a year if we're lucky. So we will have to do that. That's part of the reason why we're working on this framing. If you didn't see Cerveska, we just put up that framing not too long ago. That framing is going to help a ton with stabilizing and getting ready to build on the roof. But more to come with that later, more explanation on that later. But that will help so that we can have a building even once we have to rip down that additional paneling. But you guys can see the other section of the 4th wall right here. And this is what we're going to get started on in just a moment. So let me grab another long length of board. Let's see what we're going with. All right. Now the issue is we're starting to use smaller pieces, which will mean fractional walls. Gonna have to go right there, nail one up, and keep going like that with, again, just not the full wall being completed. So as you can see, I've put this one up, but it's not quite reaching the end. That's a problem for us. It's not a major problem, but it is nonetheless a problem. So we're going to have to be careful there. I guess we'll go ahead and get started on it. We have a few of those pieces like that we can get up, and then we will have to see what we can do from there. We've got that one. Let me see if I can grab another one here. Be roughly similar size, a couple of them. See about these guys here. So we've got one right there. If this one's longer, I'll actually make this one the bottom. No, about the same size. Okay. So this will be about 2 here. If I can get that to hold on. We got about 3 going right here. I'll have to knock that out, but you know, I'll actually flip that around too, so that we get a more stable connection on the wall. Got about 3 there. And we will be getting close to 6 pretty quickly. So there we go. We'll be starting to put that up. And again, helping to close off this dwelling. Again, not anything super crazy yet, but now we've got some walls up. We're almost getting to the point where we're closing off a larger section of it out of the wind, which is, though you may not think about it, a pretty valuable thing for us. We're not putting up everything and sleeping in it right away. This building has obviously taken us quite a long time to work on, but not for nothing. This little bit of wind protection will again help us keep little flimsy pieces of tarp and things like that up. Even if while we are constructing, it's valuable. It is significantly valuable for us, as well, even just for the fact that if you've ever been under a tent or something like that, when it's raining real hard and the wind blows real heavily, you'll notice that I just knocked over all my boards. The wind will push the rain up underneath the tent, and even if you're standing right in the center of the tent, you'll be getting a ton of wind and rain on you for anything that doesn't have sidewalls. So now that we've built up 3 out of the 4 sidewalls, we still have the risk that even if we put up tarps and stuff and we're hanging out underneath it trying to brace through a little small rain shower, we wouldn't stay out here during a thunderstorm or anything too crazy, but under a light rain shower where we'd be waiting it out so we could get back to constructing, we would be in trouble because any wind would blow the rain straight up underneath. We'd get soaked anyway and it wouldn't matter. Now that we're starting to put up these 4th walls and have some of this, that wind will be less of a problem, because as we go further into the dwelling, the wind will be able to reach us less and less, which means the rain can reach us less and less as well. So not for nothing, again, this will help us significantly to try to move forward. What I'm doing currently is knocking out a bunch of screws from these pieces of deck board that we were able to get and recycle. So as I knock out the rest of these screws, we will be getting good to move forward with the second part of the first half of the 4th wall. So a lot of numbers there to keep track of, but nonetheless, it is to say that we are moving forward. And then finally, I will, before we head out, I'll give you guys an up-close shot of our tomatoes growing up and starting to get bigger. We don't have any tomatoes yet actually, you know, coming through, which is unfortunate. I would love for us to have some juicy tomatoes to taste and start messing with. We do not have that yet, unfortunately, but we are not too far off. Those tomato plants are, you know, getting to be about 3.5, 4 feet tall. And that is more than I have personally been able to grow. So we are making some serious progress. Let me see if I can get this at the right angle so that when I hit it in, it goes the way we want it to. I think that should be pretty decent there. And let's go. Okay, throwing down one piece, getting our nail. And as soon as I say that, is the buzzer. So I have to rush. And that is our buzzer. So real quick, I will show you guys our beautiful, beautiful tomatoes as I come back to finish up this wall later on. I'll also show you our cucumbers. We will be headed out. So, real fast, everybody, please say hello. If you can possibly see them at all, please say hello to some of our tomatoes. Okay. So these right here, if you can see them, I'll try and get a little bit closer for you guys. These are our tomato plants. Nothing too fancy yet, but here they are. They are beautiful. They are growing quite well, and I'm super lucky to have them. Again, we have quite a few, if I can aim down the row a little bit, quite a few growing here, some significantly smaller than others. But the other thing we have, and I'll show what I've kind of started doing with them. If I aim down, here are some cucumber plants. We have a number of them. If I can show you, if I can find the spot that I'm looking for, these have some really pretty yellow flowers that are growing on them. And so that is one of the, I guess I can point out this guy and show it off. I can aim up a little bit. So this guy, as you may be able to see, right here has a pretty little yellow flower on it. So they are growing up, they are getting bigger, and they're trying to start growing their cucumbers. So this is going to be a long time, but we did have these just vines growing directly out on the ground, which wasn't great, unfortunately, for the life of the cucumbers and for the success of the plant. So we've actually kind of staked in some sticks that are branches from little trees that will allow them to kind of sprawl out and put their weight on something similar to a trellis, although not very high up. And again, this is just temporary because I saw the damage that was happening to these guys. So later on, we will come back and probably make a proper, more fancy trellis for them as they get larger. But this is the start. So again, thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you all soon as we continue to make more progress. And as always, let me grab you guys and run over here so we can do a proper goodbye. As you know, we always say in the Empire, Aeternia forever. See you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hey, Aaron said, day one of requesting only Empire. We got it. We got the OnlyFans for you. Subscribe to the Patreon and we'll get it for you. Aeternia forever. See you guys.